Morning, everyone. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with feet just right under your hip bones. Sink in your stance, open your palms up, inhale, raise a little bit. And exhale, sink, bringing your core in, floating the crown point up as the arms go down. Bend the knees a little bit, turn the palms out. Make sure the weight is distributed and centered over the feet, the midline of the foot, like there was a crosshair on the foot center, so that the weight is not wandering out to the sides or to the front or to the back. Just stays on the center, no matter where the arms are, no matter if you're higher or lower. And breathing deeply into the belly. So crown up, arms down, crown up, arms down. Feel the back lengthen as the arms go up. Use the legs to get above the shoulder line, crown up, arms down, palms down the front center line. Bend the knees and let the arms go out the sides and then up and palms down the front. And again, engaging your core, waking up your core, connecting above and below, front, back, side to side. Connecting above and below, the front and the back, and the left and the right. Good. All right. From here, let's go ahead and stand with your feet just a little bit closer together. Drop your weight down the one side, down the center. Engage your core on that side and steady that side. And then release from the hip down. Melt the quad, the calf, and the top of the foot. And then drop your foot. Drop your hip, knee, ankle, and foot into rotation. And so you feel just very steady, stable on this side, on the weighted side, and this side feels free to move, but the hip line stays level. Okay, good. Rotate the other direction. Feel the relaxation of the shoulder line, relaxation of the hip line. Right? They're both parallel to each other and parallel to the floor. Good. Switch your feet by dropping straight down the other leg. Feel the lightening of the other leg. Feel the melting from the hip down, and then put it into rotation. Keep your hip under you. Keep this hip under you so it fully supports the torso. And so this is like the foundation of the house. You want those pillars to be right under the structure of the house. You don't want it to be at an angle, and you don't want it to wobble. Good, and go the other direction. Deep breaths into your belly as you do this so that you're feeling very long. You're connecting above and below, as well as to the front, to the back, and to both sides. Good. All right. From here, put your feet together. Put your hands on the knees. Lengthen the back. Drop your shoulders. Feel the weight land in the centers of the feet. And then begin to rotate. Or if you've got knee issues, you can just go front to back. Just straight front and back is just fine. And still breathing into your belly, but keeping the back long, feeling the flow all the way down to your feet. Going the other way, rotating the other direction. Remember, there's no weight under the hands, so you're not pressing into the knees. You're just warming the knees, what we would call warming the knees. Good, and then feeling the body stand up by raising the crown of the head, like somebody's lifting you up from the top. Good, from here, put your hands on your belly. Just step out a little bit so your legs are right under your hip bones. And then you can begin to rotate, dropping your hip into rotation, but still keeping the upright posture of the spine. The uprightness of the spine remains, and it doesn't turn on and off. It doesn't turn on and off. It's consistently upright, and really feeling and thinking beyond just the waist rotation. So you feel the uprightness of the spine all the way through the crown of the head, and you also feel down through and past the knees, down into the soles of the feet. Good. Rotate the other direction. And dropping open the hips like you've got balloons in the hips, and put your mind in the back and the lower hemisphere of those balloons. Be sure that you're inflating those balloons, the whole spherical shape of the balloons, not just the front, not just the upper quarter, but the whole spherical shape. And breathing into your belly and relaxing the area underneath your collarbones. Good. All right. Here, relax your arms down, roll the shoulders back and down. Deep breaths, deep breaths. And rolling the shoulders back and up, down the sides, back and up, down the sides. And keeping the chin slightly tucked. The chin is slightly tucked so it gives some structure to the neck, so your cervical spine feels supported and the head isn't bobbing up and down. It just feels very stable. It's not rigid, it's just stable. Good, and let's go the other way. So squeeze the shoulders back and up, come straight down the sides, back and up, and release and feel that area of the side of the neck, like the ears, like the shoulders are dropping away from the ears and your neck is getting longer. Good. And then feel through the knees. Put some air into the balloons in the knees. Keep the chin slightly tucked. Doesn't matter if you're going lower. It's not about going lower. It's the quality of decompressing your knee joints, decompressing the hip joints as you're doing this motion. Good. And then from here, bend the knees and then big circle. Engage your core. Come out the sides, less than 180 degrees. Bend the knees. Good. And then raising up, bring your core in to support the spine. Let the arms fall down the sides. Keep the crown up as the arms come down. Inhale and feel like you can breathe through your entire body. Okay, so that your inhale, it goes into your belly, but feel it kind of fill the volumetric space of the tubes of the legs. And then see if you can fill the space in the soles of the feet as well. So your feet are not rigid, but they're actually give you like this spring-like energy. There's a springiness at the base of the feet because you have an arch. You have an arch of the foot. That archway of the foot is designed to give you a spring-like action to return energy into your body. So you feel this kind of slow motion bounce back up into your body. Taking deep breaths into the belly. And then let's reverse direction. So palms up at the chest level. Keep the spine straight as you let the arms come down, then lengthen the back to raise the arms, rotate the arms on the shoulder level, crown up, arms down, bend the knees, let the arms come up the sides, staying low, then use your legs to get above the shoulders, rotate, palms up, crown up, arms down, keep your core engaged, don't bend at the waist or go blank at the core at any moment. Let it be like a bellows that is filling and compressing, but it doesn't collapse. So you want to keep the structure and the shape of the bellows of your body, your lungs, your diaphragm, and breathing into your belly. Good. All right, and feel that connection from the tops of the heads to the soles of the feet, from the fingertips to the toes. Crown up, arms down. Feel integrated as a whole, above and below. Good. All right, from here, put your arms out in front of you. Toes are still in a line. Good. And then drop your arms into gravity. And on this one, your arms know how to do this, so you have to let them. So the mind needs to let the shoulders be dropped into gravity, knowing that they're not just going to fall off onto the ground, right? You're not going to just, the arms aren't going to fall off the body, so you can let go of that excess tension and instead put your mind into bringing some tone into your belly, lower dantian area, and then think of the balloon-like shape in the hips. So as you're moving up and down, you're not compressing the hips. You want to expand the balloon and really visualize and think of the lower hemisphere and the back of that balloon. So there's no hinging forward at the waist. There's no hinging at the hip joint. The arms are just going into gravity, but you're not checked out of them either, okay? Because you're not constricting the shoulders, the tendons don't have to grip as much. And the lengthening of the tendons in the arms and the hands can become more elastic, more comfortable. Good, now step one foot in front of the other and alternate the hands swinging. Good, so the front knee is rather still so that you don't over-rotate the waist. The front foot is straight ahead or even turned in 2 degrees. So the front toe can also be turned in 2 degrees. That's good as well. Feel the back hip under you. So you have that balloon, especially in the back hip, because the weight is more in the back. It's 70% in the back. And your stance is not very long. It's just like a walking distance. Okay, keep that back hip under you and keep those balloons. They're making like small, subtle adjustments. So there's no rigidity in the joints, but there is space. Good, now bring your mind, consolidate your mind into your lower dantian, the central axis. Keep your mind there and then switch your feet. Just very calmly switch your feet again. Good. And so what you're going for is less side-to-side motion and stabilizing the upper half of the body above the waist by putting your mind in your belly and switching the feet. Okay, so in other words, you're not just going clunk, clunk while you switch your legs, but this upper half of the body, because your core is engaged, when you switch your feet, it just feels buoyant, like it's just floating on a lake, on a calm lake. Good, so this is like your duck paddling. Your duck on top of the lake looks very calm and placid, but the legs underneath the duck, when you switch your feet, can actually be quite busy, right? But it doesn't affect the upper part, the part that appears to be floating on the water is actually quite buoyant and calm and stable. So when you switch your feet, try to fool yourself. Go into an asymmetric, unpredictable, even to yourself rhythm, right? Try to surprise yourself. And then keep the upper body engaged. It doesn't require a lot of muscles. It's just a little bit of core engagement as you switch your feet and just fool yourself. Fool yourself into an asymmetrical, unpredictable rhythm of changing of the feet while keeping the upper body calm and consistently engaged, awake. Okay, good. All right, good. All right, from here, look over your right shoulder, rotate the head around. And go in the other direction. Good. And then from here, step out your stance a little bit. Good. Extend your crown up above your head like you've got an antenna. As you bend at the waist, Send your antenna up and out. Don't send the butt backwards, just send the antenna up and out. And then when you get to the horizon, you can just naturally let the spine roll forward just in its natural shape, but keep the shoulders in neutral. Do not roll or push the shoulders. The shoulders should feel completely relaxed here. And again, they're not flaccid. You're not dissociated. You're not checked out from any part of your body. So relaxation does not mean asleep. It just means that there's no excess tension. You can maintain the tone in your body without having any hypertension in any of your joints. And then take a few deep breaths here to lengthen the lower back, lengthen the glutes, the backs of the legs. Let the neck traction down. And then roll up slowly by first engaging your pelvic floor and then rolling up from the base of the spine to the middle, upper, neck, and then all the way up above the head, and then let your antenna go vertical above your head. When you're up, you can walk your feet in. Good. Okay. All right, so from here, I'm going to take something from the 8 Silk Brocades. This is just a small section on clearing heart fire. So nourishing the heart and clearing heart fire. And it actually looks quite simple. But what I want you to do when you're turning your head is to actually use all the rest of your body to turn your head instead of thinking about the head turning as a separate thing, separate from the torso. Okay, so really, so what we're going to do here is we're going to be turning to one side. Okay, and then from here, we're going to be dropping the head down and then across and then looking up again. Okay, so it looks rather simple, looks like what we did just earlier. But what I want you to do is to think about this motion. When you're looking to the side, like to the left, you're not pushing off of your midline. You're not trying to go behind you either. You're just rotating without pushing the chin. You're just rotating. And to rotate, use the opposite side, neck, collarbone area. Over here, underneath the collarbone, let that lengthen. And then drop the opposite side of your hip so that you feel connected through the hip, through the knee, and into your foot. Okay, and so your core is mitigating the communication so you have connection upper and lower. And then from here, just take it slow and really notice what's going on. So from here, without collapsing or bending the spine forward, let the head drop down just a little bit across the front. And again, use the opposite chest and hip and all the way into the foot to get to the other side. And then use your eyes and your core to raise back up to eye level. Your eyes go back up to eye level on the other side. Okay, so your shoulders are not rolling forward at all. So when you do this, your shoulders stay level. And then you're going to go across the front and use the opposite neck, chest, collarbone area, hip. Think past the knee and all the way into the sole of the foot, and keep your core engaged so that you do not arch your back. Okay, so bring the core in even more towards the end position. Okay, without tightening the hip joints too much. Still feel the core go in, but feel the connection to the soles of the feet simultaneously. Okay, and then going around and feeling through your body. Use everything else except pushing your head anywhere. Feel the length of the neck, and especially on the opposite side. especially on the opposite side. Good. So once you get the hang of that, your breath, you can inhale to one side, inhale, say, to your right, and then exhale to your left, lengthening your back, bringing your belly in. Good. And then inhale to your right, slowly, evenly, and then exhale to your left. And feel through, just follow your own breath as you do this. Go with your own breathing rhythm while I talk to you. So feel through your shoulders, open and lengthen the lower back. Use your hip, open that balloon in the hip. You open the balloon in the knees and feel into the, especially the opposite foot. Good. And then we're going to reverse our breathing. Okay. So you're going to go to the opposite side and inhale. And then exhale to the opposite side in which you just did. Good. And just bring a calmness and feel what you can do in using your upper body, your neck and shoulder, and your hip, going past the knee into the foot, especially on the opposite side. Especially on the opposite side. Feel the shoulders really open up and feel all the way into the extremity. You should be able to increase your sensation into the extremities, not decrease them. And also, you're not trying to manufacture any sort of sensation. Rather, you just open up the vessel of your entire body, open up the vessels of your limbs, and breathe through them. Breathe, use your breath and your mind to direct the qi to flow through the vessels of your limbs and of your entire body, moving together. And the weight is not shifting. The weight is steady in the centers of your feet. Good. And then just come back to center and just notice what you see around you and if your perception has changed at all. Take some deep breaths in the center here, into your belly. Good. Take a slightly wider stance. Take a slightly wider stance. And then the hands can just rest lightly here on the upper part of the thigh, upper part of the thigh. And then from here, let's go to the opposite side you were just going on. Okay, we're going to do the same. It's still regulating the heart, but we're going to be bending at the waist a little bit. So you're going to be turning on your midline, and then you're going to be going to one direction. So, for example, to your right, and you're going to be bending forward at the waist, and then going across the front to the other knee, direction of the knee, and then feel the length to raise back up. So lengthen the spine to raise back up to the top, and then turn your spine vertically to get back to center. Okay, let's try that again. So just turn and rotate at the center, again, using the opposite side of the body to do this, and opening the balloons of the hips, feeling the soles of the feet, aim on center of the feet, keep on aiming at the center of the feet as you bend forward, and keep the spine feeling very, very long. And you're looking ahead of you, like on the horizon level. So you feel the length of your neck going across, scanning across the horizontal, and then lengthen your spine and drop your lower back into your feet to get to the top, and then rotate your vertical axis to get back to that neutral center. Good, then turn again, keep your knees pointed forward. Okay, the knees are not collapsing. Keep the knees pointed forward as you're bending, and then looking forward with your eyes more than your head. Good, scan across the horizontal level, staying in the centers of the feet, and then lengthen the spine up through the crown and anchor through the feet to get back to the top, and rotate on the vertical center to get back to neutral. Good, we're going to go 3 times in the opposite direction. So first thing, engage your core and rotate vertically. Vertical rotation, knees forward, and then send your roots down the centers of both feet. Lengthen your lower back in order to bend at the waist, looking forward at the horizon. And your back can be parallel to the ground, and lengthen the spine to get back to the top. And then feel that neutral center. Rotate past neutral center, feel anchoring soles of both feet. Open the hip balloons, hip balloons, hip balloons, hip balloons, in order to bend forward. And you don't have to go all the way forward. Just go with your comfort level. Just a little bit is just fine. Don't go for the distance. Go for the quality. All the way up to the top. Feel neutral center. Rotate on the vertical axis. Fill both hip balloons. Feel soles of both feet through the knees. Through the knees. Look ahead of you with your eyeballs. Good. Keep the head and the neck calm. And then fill the spine, fill the feet. Allow the downward motion of the feet to go upward with the spine. Good. All right, now you're back up to the top. Walk your feet in. Good. All right, from here, sink in your stance. And then from here, gather the chi, the base. Inhale, raise. Wrap your palms so that the palms face the top. And then let that go out and down, and bend the knees. Gather the chi at the base. Fingertips point toward each other without touching. Drop your back. Wrap your burrito in towards yourself at the chest level. Palms up to the top without arching the back. So belly comes in as you go up to the top. Good. Crown up, arms down. Gather the chi here. Lengthen the back. Drop the back down. Wrap this in towards yourself. Bring your belly in as you use your legs to get to the top without arching the back. Arms out to the sides, crown up, arms down. Bend the knees, gather the chi. Good. Keep your core engaged. Lengthen the back. Feel the feet to raise up. Engage your core. Core comes in as you go up. Core is toned as you go out. Core stays toned as you go down and bend. Good. Fingertips see each other. The spine is straight. Drop your lower back. Wrap in towards yourself. Raise up and feel the down leading the up, and the up leading the down. So down gives rise, loft to the top, and the up lightens the down. Good, and one more time. Inhale into the belly, wrap this towards you, down to go up, and up to go down. All right, from here, gather the chi on your lower Dantian level, bring your feet together. Right palm on the inside for women, left palm on the inside for men. Take some deep breaths to consolidate your chi into your lower Dantian. And then sealing in the chi Down your left, up the right. Down your left, up the right. Still feeling connected all the way through from head to foot. And 3 times in each direction. Keeping connected head to foot. Warm the hands. Good. Keep your shoulders down. And then gently wash the face and the senses, all the sensory organs in the head. You're washing and bathing them in the qi on the hands. And then mist the qi from above to below. Just let them permeate through you like a mist. Good. All right. So bow here, right fist, left palm, bow here. All right. So if anybody has a question, please go ahead and.
Hi, Sally. I have, when I go down in that last movement, trouble with not having a lot of holding in my shoulders.
Yeah. That's one of the challenging things with that move is to mobilize your whole body into the motion. You really have to focus on your root, your core, and thinking about keeping the roots going through your feet instead of just hinging at the waist to bend the body forward and separating above and below. Really think about what you can do below to cause this motion above. So the order of the choreography of the movement is not from top to bottom. It's actually from bottom to top.
Oh.
Okay? Or from the center out rather than from the head in. Okay? So as you're moving, this is exactly one of the main challenges with that form, is that you have to define the center by bringing your core in, and then really think down into the feet before going. So then you become like this very, very long being as opposed to just a shortened being, right? So you go through the waist area, go down like you're drilling down through the feet and maintain that. So this is what is challenged. So when you're practicing at home this week, for example, just go really slowly and don't go all the way to horizontal. Just go a little bit so that you get the first part here, right? See, I'm not bending over a whole lot. Like sometimes you have to go, I mean, actually always, it's best to go incrementally, right? So then rather than just going for the extreme motion, build your path to that motion. So go slow, just a little bit, and feel. It's like, center, am I in the center? Can I feel both my feet? Can I feel it? Can I feel it across the center? Do I still have it when I get to the other side? Or does this feel like a different planet over here? Right? And then down to go up, go up. Okay, so you're not just using your waist as a hinge. Okay, you're using your whole body. Use your whole body flow.
Just wanted to say your explanation was super helpful. Thanks, Sally.
Good, I'm glad. So that's why we started with just here. This is like the mini version. But it's actually, there's so much going on. If you've spent all of your life just thinking that to bend your head, you have to separate your head from your body and just hinge on your neck, then this is like a whole different way of moving, right? So if you've thought turning your head requires just like this, like turning this apple on a stick, right? And it didn't involve any of this other stuff, then this is like a whole new thing. So really you're trying to incorporate whole body movement. So we have to think in more than one direction at once. And we have to incorporate kind of a paradoxical thinking, right? So even though we're moving to the left, we have to utilize the right. And we think that the movement only happens here, but actually it happens here. And then and it happens in our hip, and then it happens in the other leg, all the way down to the foot. Okay, so it's like you're growing and you're making this neuromuscular connection from, it used to just, you had this consciousness of moving your head, And now you're expanding it, and then you're expanding it, and then you're expanding it. Okay, so you're actually building and growing your neuromuscular pathways, right? Your mind is, you have a neuroplasticity. Maybe some of you have heard that term, but we have the ability to actually grow new neural networks, and we also can heal neural networks that have been damaged over the years by whatever, this or that, or perhaps we're just didn't give the opportunity to grow in our lifetime. So now through our conscious intention, you can allow those pathways to be formed through kind of what appears to be simple movements. Simple movements can allow, and slowing down of your movements, slowing the pace, can allow for those neural networks to be built in a more unified, more harmonious way that is using your entire body instead of separating your body. And the reason why I chose this one is because right now it's both the summer season, we're quickly moving towards the summer solstice, but also with our world the way it is, with like there's a heightened emotional state because of all the social changes going on. It's appropriate to be feeling all the feelings, right? And we don't want to just suppress them, and we don't want to check out and dissociate from them either. So how we can spread and diffuse like those areas that get caught up in tension and holding and constriction is knowing that we're a whole being, just like we're all human beings. We're not just the color of the skin or racial ethnic group. We're all human beings, right, in the human species. So we can bring that to the microcosm of our own self and start to integrate our entire body, instead of separating and dissociating. So part of what we do to protect ourselves is to dissociate, you know, but so then this is a physical exercise, right, that integrates your motion, your breath, your intention, your thought, and your spirit into your movement. You don't have to overcomplicate it. You know, it doesn't have to be like, I'm going to solve racial inequities by doing this Qigong, right? That's not going to happen. But we can begin with ourselves, integrating ourselves, right? It's just like racial injustice, it affects all of us. We have internalized it because it's the whole culture that we've all been living in and swimming in and breathing in the whole time. And we just didn't know that we were, right? So in a way, it's just like bringing awareness and embodying it, a felt sense of integration within, with a reference at your center. And from that point, you can bring an awakeness to take more clarified action into the world, so that you're not just reacting, right? But actually you can, and if you do react, because you're going to react, because we're human beings, and you have a practice path to your center that is more and more familiar. So you can get back there, you can return home with more speed and regularity, okay? So that you are taking action from a place of your own authentic, felt sense of your authentic self. You're connected with your values and your principles, okay? And from there, you can walk into the world and have a posture that is connected with that, and then you can make clear, good decisions about what you're going to do, all right? So I hope that's helpful in this moment. And really take the time to be gentle with yourself, take care of yourself, and then also bring yourself into the world, even though it's uncomfortable, and then take care of yourself. Like really do that back and forth. It's all necessary, right? This is training. This is practice. So we have to develop we have to develop these things to build our own resilience to the discomfort of the world right now. So if we have a very limited experience of what racism is personally, then it's acutely painful to feel that for the first time or for the 5th time, you know, if you haven't been feeling that all of your life. So we all need to train ourselves to be able to have a resilience with the discomfort, and to be able to put ourselves and feel true empathy with others. Okay, so utilize this breath, physical breathing practice to take care of yourselves, okay, during this challenging time where we're all being called into changing our minds and changing our communities. So thanks for your presence and joining us today. It means a lot when you show up. So I'll see you here next week. We're going to be doing the same thing next week and then the last week of June, live classes here. Okay? All right. Take care, everyone.